Hello, Fort McMurray. It's Melanie Galea with Remax Fort McMurray. And this is the last episode of the year for Let's Talk Lending. And I am with my co-host,
Barb Pinsent with the Mortgage Center Elite.
Awesome. Okay, Barb, we get together 8 times a year. Why?
To let everyone know what the Bank of Canada decides to do with their overnight lending rate.
Right, which is?
Well, today they announced they were going to, or they have increased it by 0.5 percentage point again. So that's 7 times this year, 4% altogether that the overnight lending rate has been increased by.
Right. And so, it's been interesting. I've been watching some different economists and stuff like that. And Benjamin Tal, from the chief economist from CIBC, has been saying that this is going to happen, and it was going to happen exactly the way it did happen. And so here we are, right? And so what I find interesting is, what is going to happen next? Is it going to cool off next year? Because the latest inflation was there's been no update since the report in October at 6.9%. So they're trying to cool off inflation. They're trying to, and it is working. It is working. But this is their way of doing it because it's actually cheaper for us to have interest rates go up than the cost of inflation. So, Barb, do you want to talk about the impact of all of this, how this is going to change things? What's going to go on? Because the other thing that Benjamin Tal talked about is that he doesn't see rates going down until 2024. Yeah. So people have some options. So speak to what you foresee happening.
Well, I did watch and listen to the same things that other people are out there watching and listening to, and I had hoped that we might see some changes in rates and see the overnight lending rate go down in 2023, but they are now saying 2024. People do have options to lock into a fixed term if that makes sense, and it's unfortunate because it's gone up so quickly, and people, myself included, just hung in there thinking, this isn't going to last forever, and it's not going to last forever, but it's very painful right now. So there are options to lock into a fixed term if that's something that you're interested in, and make sure that the rate, if that is what you're going to do, is a comparable rate. So don't just sign on the dotted line if your lender is offering you a rate. Check it out. Just make sure that it's fair. Many are thinking that maybe shorter term is the answer, so, that maybe in 2 to 3 years from now. And I really wish I had a crystal ball. I don't, I don't know where this is going to go. I don't know how long it's going to last. We do know that what goes up comes down, and markets correct themselves. And, this has happened before and will happen again. We just don't know when we're going to see the end of it. A little bit different this time around, given, COVID is to blame for all of the supply chain delays, the war. There's just so many different things. There's still lots of, employment numbers are really good, which is unusual because, that causes people to spend money still. So, sorry about that. Let me just turn the volume off, which I thought I had done. So yeah, there's options. Not great. You're not going to lock into a rate that you would have locked into, back in 2021, early 22, but there are still some options. Maybe a refinance to make the payment a little bit smaller, but a refinance is only available to someone who has enough equity in their home. So reach out to ask questions, and I'm happy to help. Your lender would be happy to help. Any questions that you have, make that call and get those answers so you know what that looks like.
Awesome. Yeah, I think that's a good call. All right, Barb, we have a topic though here that you wanted to discuss, so that, our commitment is to add value to you, to explain what's going on, and then also give you some options for when you are preparing to buy. And Barb, so why don't you talk to us about the tax-free,
first home savings account is what we're going to talk about. So was introduced with the last budget. And it is a tax-free first home savings account. So the money in there is tax-free. You can contribute. It's similar to an RRSP. So you're going to be able to contribute up to $8,000 per year. There is a $40,000 cap on there. All of the money that sits in that savings account will be tax deductible, and and tax free. You're not going to pay taxes on the money that it earns. So very similar to an RRSP. And you can use the money that's held in the first home savings account. You can invest it in stocks, bonds, GICs. So again, very similar to the other tax-free savings account that is not a home savings account. But the other tax-free savings account isn't tax-free in terms of you don't get a benefit for, it doesn't come off your taxable income. With this one, it will. Anyone aged 18 to 71 who doesn't own a home and hasn't owned one in the past 4 years would be eligible for the account, and you can withdraw the money from the account to use to buy a home. So it will help you lower your tax bill because contributions are tax deductible. Shelters your investment gains, so no taxes paid to the government for money that you're earning in the tax account. Creates a strong incentive, we hope, for people to save. It's a great avenue for that, I think. Could counteract some of the effects that rate rises have had on the housing market. And is available, I've heard April of 2023. Still some things to be ironed out. Well, they may have ironed it out, but haven't shared that information with us. So there's still, a little bit of gray in terms of what all it's going to look like, but we should hear that fairly soon, in early 2023, I would think. But I have heard that it'll be available in April of 2023.
Awesome.
And that's it, actually. Short and sweet this time around.
Well, cool. Well, listen, this is something that I'm glad that we had a chance to talk about. What I'd like to do is just I'm gonna take over now, and just keep that though, because I might pop you back on and just give our information there again one more time. But I wanted to talk about the statistics, okay, and what is happening with the statistics at this point in time. So this is the stat that the board will be putting out, and it's a buyer's market. That as of last month, it was a buyer market in every single category. But if you have a look at the year-to-date stats, the year-to-date numbers for average price in almost every category, and including single-family homes, the average price is it's more than last year. So, I think that's something to sort of, prices are crashing and prices are falling. They're not. Right? They're not. That's not happening. We didn't have that massive spike that, some of the other places in the country did. We didn't have that. I'll make this available in my social media just so that you can have a looky-loo at that. Barb, I can pass that along to you too if you want to put that in any of your socials so that people have an idea of what's happening in statistics. But, we are going to see, here's what's going to happen. December's generally things definitely slow down. Okay.
Yeah.
But if you're thinking about listing in the new year, reach out. If you are thinking about buying in the new year, you want information about, what's the best situation for you, definitely get a hold of Barb. This is, I'm going to go back to our informations here. The best place to get a hold of us, quite frankly, is letstalklending.com. You fill in that form that we have. We'll both instantly get a message that you're looking for information. We're going to be super happy to give you a hand. So listen, we're going to keep this short and sweet today. Rate increase. We're at the base rate of Canada is the Bank of Canada is at 4.25%. It went up a half basis point. The next date is January 25th, 2023. Is that right, Barb? I think that's right.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, awesome. Do us a favor, tag a friend, share this video. Let's get the word out about, what's going on, some different options for purchasing in the new year. If you need help buying, selling, financing, you got the dream team right here. So
and I want to mention too, I didn't, Melanie, earlier, that fixed rates are coming down. So, that is some good news on the rate front. We are seeing, because bond yields have dropped again. So, it's longer term rates, but they are coming down, and maybe that will continue so that, those fixed rates don't look as bad as, fixed rates are better than variable rates are pretty much these days.
And that's really interesting.
And that is some good news.
That is some good news, right? It's not all doom and gloom. So make sure that you're educated on what your options are, because I think that there's going to be a lot more options than you think that there are. So,
That's right.
Barb, I just want to wish you and your family a very, very, very Merry Christmas and happy holidays. And I look forward to keep doing this with you in the new year. I'm super grateful you said yes when I came up with this crazy idea. And I'm so proud of you of how far you have come. Oh my goodness, I'm so proud of
Who
you.
knew that could happen?
I
Certainly not
did.
me. Well, I
I
didn't.
did.
No.
Oh, and I know on behalf of both of us, we want to say thank you to all of our valuable clients and friends and family that have referred to us and colleagues. We really, really appreciate that too. So,
Absolutely.
all right, Barb, till the new
Okay.
year. All right, Barb McMurray, please share and have a good one.
Thanks so much.